Hello and welcome to BrookesTV. I'm Jasmine Cooper.
And I'm Haley Creech. Coming up in this week's episode, how is Oxford University encouraging women in sciences?
Can cannabis really treat pain and anxiety?
And can a bus help raise awareness for mental health?
The annual OxFest festival aims to champion and recruit women into sciences. Anna Birkpeck reports.
Science, technology, engineering and maths, or STEM, have always had quite a low percentage of female workers. Despite them being almost half of the workforce, they only make up 22% of all people working in STEM. We're here in Oxford to talk to Catherine Wong, the president of OxFest, to find out more about the reasons behind the issue.
So since a young age, when we got to choose between science or arts subjects for GCSE, young girls probably don't want to be the only girl in a physics class, and that leads to a lower number of female students enrolling to university for STEM subjects. And also when we were younger, I think most of the storybooks, when they portray a scientist, it's always a man. So young girls wouldn't look up to being a scientist because it would appear too masculine.
OxFest is one of the societies that try to tackle those prejudices and aim to achieve gender equality in STEM subjects. This year, they're hosting their 8th annual conference with talks and workshops to raise awareness about the issue. Today, just 1 in 8 jobs requiring advanced STEM skills go to women. The number of female professional engineers has been growing over the years and is on track to reaching 1 million women in core STEM in 2020. However, the number of female managers in STEM roles has declined since 2017, and now only 13% of leading positions are held by women. So, what else can be done to tackle this issue?
I think we need to implement some sort of leadership training in academia to train women and to find the confidence and to build further the knowledge and competency in sciences with more managing and leading competencies and skills.
We need to find ways of encouraging more young girls at a very young age. We need to find new and creative ways to teach the sciences. And we need to also find as many different ways to bring information to as many different people who might not necessarily be aware of it, or who might not necessarily think of themselves as being apt to go into a STEM field to actually do this.
Women still have a long way to go before reaching equality in STEM professions. That's why events like OxFest are trying to educate and inspire a new generation. Anna Birkpeck for BrookesTV News.
There have been numerous debates on the legalization of cannabis in recent years. However, not all parts of cannabis are illegal.
Cannibidoils, or CBDs, have become very popular in the UK. Sophia Browram finds out why.
There have been many claims by consumers that cannabis oil has had a great medical benefit. People in Oxford share their thoughts with us.
Well, I think it helps people. Do you know what I mean? People that suffer from epileptic fits.
I have used cannabis oil as an alternative painkiller.
But public opinion is just one point of reference. Professor Gary Stevens at the University of Reading gives us an insight into the research behind cannabis oils. It is important to state that there is currently no clinical evidence that either cannabis oil or cannabidiol oil have any medical benefit. The only accepted medical evidence for benefit is for CBD as an oral solution, not oil. Recently, a local cafe in Oxford has started selling CBD-based oils. What is their opinion on the benefits?
I understand that athletes are using it a lot for recovery and pain relief. Others are using it to manage more serious conditions, skin conditions. People are using it to assist with sleep. I just think there's a broad range of common problems that this is purported to help with, and therefore it's attracted a wide range of different people.
After hearing both sides of the argument, I'm now going to try some Cannibidoil coffee. If it smells as good as it tastes, I should be in for a treat. It's good, and I'm not normally keen on coffees. I haven't felt any effects, but will others react differently?
Mental health in higher education is a big issue. What support is available for Oxford Brookes students? Gareth Coulson investigates.
Brookes Union recently hosted an event dedicated to mental health and the support students can receive. A highlight of the event was the Battle Suicide bus that tours around colleges and universities. But what does it do? Ryan Child, who drives it, was on hand to tell us more.
First and foremost, it's a tool for engagement. They can see the really powerful messages on the bus from people that have lost loved ones to suicide, and they can see some really positive mental health messages. Life is worth living. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. I went through a lot of good perspectives, and if that can inspire people to check up on somebody, or just to give somebody the time of day, or it's so cliche, but like ring somebody you love, somebody you even really talk to that often, talk to someone you don't know yet. All these things are just so powerful. To me, it's about prevention 20 years before, rather than a phone call the night before you've really hit that kind of precipice of bad kind of thoughts. So for students, it's like start early, get into habits that are positive, I think, with our mental health.
And does sitting down and playing chess and chatting with a stranger help?
They're informal. You can talk about the football, you can talk about your dog, what you have for breakfast, for example. But also you can open up. People are going to be there and they want to hear your story, and they don't want to be too cheesy, but what else do we really want apart from to sit down and someone else hear our story?
I asked Sean Keeley what support Brookes Union offers students.
The union are strongly linked and work together with wellbeing to make sure students are okay at university and can study effectively and be happy at university.
Students are recognising, admitting, acknowledging that they have mental health concerns and are more readily coming forward for support in order to find a solution to address it.
If there is one thing Ryan could say to students suffering with mental health, what would it be?
We've found that connection is probably the most powerful thing. If you can connect with somebody on that first day, that first action of connecting with somebody, that's your hardest task. From there it gets easier. It's the same as getting on a treadmill for the first time, or scraping yourself to the gym, or getting out of bed. The day's going to be fine. It's that first step that's so important. And people care. People do care about you.
There is no doubt there is still stigma surrounding mental health in students. But with events like these, a little conversation goes a long way. This is Gareth Coulson reporting for BrookesTV.
For any students affected by mental health, you can contact Brookes Wellbeing.
That's it for this half, but still to come.
Food, yoga, and meditation. I wonder what's the occasion?
And we have a look at the remarkable success of female entrepreneurs. Welcome back. I'm joined now by Sean Keeley, the president of Oxford Brookes Students Union. Thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon.
So one of the main points of kind of discussion for this is the Union Bar at Headington. And we were wondering why it shuts so early at 9 p.m. on weekdays and then it's not open at all at the weekend.
Well, so the union doesn't actually run the bar in Headington. It's run by Campus Chartwells, who are the caterer for the university. So, I'll raise the issue with them, But to us why, probably the reason they just don't see a demand for late in that evening. Disappointing really, because there isn't much food available on the campus after that time.
I mean, is there a particular reason why Campus Chartwell are doing it rather than the SU, or was it part of just the generic Headington campus?
When the building was designed and built, it was just decided that the bar would be run by them. To be honest, it's very difficult for the SU to run a bar because of our funding situation with the university. And the location, I mean, the bar effectively is in library, so it's not many people come to the library to drink. They often go elsewhere. And so I don't know if we'd want to actually operate the bar. I think we'd want to focus on services like the advice centre and the safety bus. So yeah. So
more of a priority in other areas rather than the social area for students.
Yeah, well, drinking. We try and the social area is very important to us as well. But buying alcohol, we prefer if people did that off the campus because it means that we don't have to operate it.
I mean, is that also another reason why you've got the association with Ox Events for running those type of events?
Yeah, so we just don't have the facility to run like a night out or anything like that. We don't have a nightclub anymore, so we team up with them.
Okay, brilliant. Also, we in your manifesto right at the beginning of the year, it probably seems a lifetime ago now.
Does, yeah.
You were saying about increasing student control in the bar.
Yeah.
How have you managed to address that? How successful has that been?
So it's it's fallen magically into place really, because we have a massive amount of control over the bar now, because the SU occupies 2 seats on the tender committee for catering at Brookes. So we have 2 massive playing cards really to play with catering on campus, and especially the bar. So we're being listened to more, and the caterers are sort of wanting to know what we want from the bar, and they've taken on an additional member of staff whose job is for the student experience. So we're getting a bit more control from that, yeah.
Okay, and also, so obviously we've got Union Bar, which is at Headington. You've also got the Harcourt Hill Bar. That I was looking into some statistics even, sorry. And one of the documents was saying it made a £19,600 loss in the year ending 2018.
Yeah.
Do you know why, how that is, how it's being combated, future plans, etc.?
So the reason why the bar makes loss is that we just don't sell enough. We are part of an excellently priced consortium with the National Union of Students, who give us quite a good rate on alcohol and other drinks as well. So it's just a case that people aren't going, and there's not many people at Harcourt anymore, which is a shame really, because it's one of my favourite campuses. I
was going to say, I'm up there all time because of obviously the teaching campus predominantly. I know we get some sports students up there, but I know recently the union have been looking into alternative uses and getting feedback. What is potentially the future plan?
Future plan, make it into a better space. We'd like to see a temporary bar being installed, rather than a full-time bar, so to speak, because that means we could allocate funding and time towards other events.
Well, I'm afraid we're going to have to end it there. I've got to move on, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
As more people are embracing a vegan lifestyle, curiosity around the subject has heightened. But how popular is veganism in Oxford?
This pastry might look extremely tasty, but this is also 100% vegan. These stands filled with food, clothes and services are part of Yogi Fit's Vegan and Yoga Festival, now in its 2nd year in Oxford. The event comprises of meditation and yoga sessions, vegan-friendly produce, as well as talks about veganism. Festivals like this comes as no surprise, as the number of vegans in Great Britain have quadrupled from 150,000 in 2014 to 600,000 in 2018. We spoke with attendees, asking them what they thought of the event.
It's really good. It's very nice because you have a mix of kids classes and adults classes, amazing vegan food, so it's the perfect combination of a festival.
Events like this for me are all about new experiences that you can't get in wherever you live. I live in Cirencester. It's very small. We don't have festivals, so festivals are a really good way to try lots of things all in one day.
In addition to people embracing these events, more businesses have begun focusing their attention towards the vegan market. One of these emerging businesses are NFJ Drinks, whose products are branded as vegan and environmentally friendly. We spoke to the owner on why he decided to focus on such demographic.
The vegan movement is a growing trend, and it's been getting bigger and bigger. There's a market for the vegan kind of stuff, the natural stuff, the way we do it. For me personally, we grew up in this sort of environment. I'm from Jamaica, I'm a born Jamaican. and where we're from, we normally make these kind of unique stuff.
While some people believe that a vegan lifestyle is more beneficial than an omnivorous one, others question whether veganism is as amazing as it seems. Reasons ranging from a lack of affordable and appetizing options, to the lack of vitamins such as B12, to some accusing the diet itself of causing the environment more harm than good. However, the festival manager argues that veganism is not about being perfect.
I suppose as long as you're making a conscious effort to avoid these damaging products, things that are taking life from others, and you're aware of what it is that you're putting into the body, then I think all around that can reduce the damage of the world.
Now, whether you're vegan, considering to be one, or not, this event is all about bringing people together to discuss what is considered a contentious topic. From here, they head to Watford before flying to Finland. This is Eze Ezeji for BrookesTV.
With International Women's Day being recognized around the world, Clemmy Plummer went to see how Oxford Brookes University is celebrating women in business.
International Women's Day, a day celebrated globally. Whilst millions of people are expected to gather on the 8th of March, we visited Oxford Brookes University to see why events such as #IamRemarkable are so important in celebrating the successes of the women's movement. With this year's theme for International Women's Day being Balance for Better, #IamRemarkable, run by Brookes Enterprise, is an event based around celebrating women in business. Attendees had the opportunity to listen to a panel of Oxford Brookes alumni, as well as network with like-minded students during a brunch. With the gender pay gap gradually closing, the event aims to show a progressive working environment, as well as a platform for a conversation around the gender pay gap. It is evident when you look at the numbers, there is still a way to go, as reports in April 2018 show that the gender pay gap is still 17.9% for all employees. With the gender pay gap still evident in the workplace, we asked event goers why they thought events like these are so important.
I think especially in the workplace it's very male dominated, and I think although it shouldn't have to be a separate day to celebrate women, I think it's really important to have that time to focus on them and actually show you and the public how incredible women are, especially in the workplace and within businesses, and just truly how special they are.
Ultimately, it's to just celebrate why you as an individual is unique and amazing.
Although events like #IamRemarkable provide women a platform to discuss their experiences within the business environment, many people feel like this problem could be better tackled by the government. We sat down with Annika Wallington, the winner of Brookes Enterprise in 2018, for her company Recognise, to see whether she believes the government had the biggest role to play in decreasing the gender pay gap.
Ultimately, I do think that businesses are kind of one of the biggest forces in society, and therefore I think they probably have a bigger role to play in terms of what's the gender equality in their workforce, what's the gender pay gap, are there mentorship programs for women, are there mentorship programs for men, and kind of addressing some of these horrible figures, such as the fact that 1% of startup funding goes to women.
With International Women's Day being recognised all around the world, with even Berlin making it a national holiday, #IamRemarkable is a small event that is trying to make a big stance on women in business. Clementine Plummer reporting for BrookesTV.
That's it for this episode. From us and the rest of the team, thanks for watching. You can find all our previous episodes on the BrookesTV YouTube channel by going to youtube.com/Oxford Brookes. Just look for the BrookesTV playlist.
Yes, and please don't hesitate to get in touch with us by emailing brookestv@brookes.ac.uk, as we'd love to hear from you if you've got a news story you think we should be covering.
Until then, see you next time.
Goodbye!